Okay, so happy week 7. I'm going to record the lecture for week 7. And this is lab 6, the one you have to submit by Sunday together with your final exam. So here's the number 1 we have to do. We have to graph this system of inequalities, and also you have to find the vertices. So this is how you graph it. You're going to click, I'm going to write down what you're doing first, and then I'm going to do it. So first, you have to click on this, and when you click on this, there are going to be 3 options. You're going to click on the first one, this one, the same one. So when you click on that, after that you have to pick 2 points, and first you're going to graph the equation x plus 2y equals 32. And in order to graph that, I need 2 points, but we're not clicking on the point down here. See this point, we don't click here, not here. You need to click on the straight line because you're going to graph a straight line. So you're picking 2 numbers for x and finding y. Now, if I pick 0 for x, these are the best points to, the easiest points to pick. 0 for x, and then you're going to pick another one for 0 for y. So when you replace x with 0, you're going to get 2y equals 32, and then you're going to divide by 2 both sides, and then you're going to get 16. So when x is 0, y is 16. Then you're going to follow the same equation. You're going to replace 0 for the y. So you have x plus 2 times 0, replacing y with 0, equals 32. 2 times 0 is 0, so x equals 32. So these are the 2 points you're going to graph, and how you graph them. So when you click on this again, you're going to click here. They're going to open 3 options. You're going to pick the first one, which is the same like this. You're going to have 3 options. The first one is like this. The second one is going to be error, like vector. And the third one is going to be segment. So you need to pick this one because you're going to graph a straight line. The second option is vector, and the third option is a segment. So you need to click on this one when you click over here. Then after that, you're going to grab the 2 points. So you're going to click 0 and 16. So you're going to click on this. And then 32x. You're going to click here. So when you click on those 2 points, you're going to have the web assign is going to create the straight line for you. And then after that, you have to graph the x equals 0 and y equals 0, which are the x-axis and the y-axis. So what you're doing the same. You're going to click. So after you graph the first line, you're going to graph x equals 0. So x equals 0, you do the same. You click on this one, the first option, and then you click any 2 points on the y-axis. So click any 2 points, and that's going to graph the y-axis. Then after that, you're going to click the same way. You're going to click here again one more time, and you're going to click at any 2 points on the x-axis, doesn't matter. And web assign is going to create a line, straight line over the x-axis. And then after that, you have to shade. How you shade? You're going to click on here, fill. So when you click on fill, your marker become a little bucket. And what you need to do, you can click inside here or outside, depends what is the sign for the inequality. See, the given inequality, it's less or equal 32. So if it's less or equal 32, that means you're going to shade below the graph, below the straight line. That means over here. Sorry, disappear. So you're going to shade over here. And how you shade, you just click on the fill, click here, and then click one time inside, and it's going to shade it for you. So that's how you graph it. I explained how to do it. Now I'm going to do it. So let's do that. So first, I'm going to click on the straight line. You have the 3 options I told you. Click on the first one. Then I need to click at 0, 16, and 32, 0. That are the 2 points I had. And see, when I click at the 2 points, I have the light blue straight line. See, over here also you see line 1. So if you see line 1, if you click on it, you're going to see the points. Point 1 is 0, 16. Point 2 is 32, 0. And they have to be exactly like that. If it happened to click on something else in another point, and another place, you can just come here and correct it, okay? And then when you click at line 1 again, it's going to graph the line. Okay, that was the first straight line. Then you're going to do the same, going to repeat the same for the x-axis and the y-axis. So we're going to click again here. You're going to click at any 2 points on the y-axis. Doesn't matter. Just going to pick these 2. And then you can click again here to graph it. Okay? Then after that, you have to click on the x-axis, any 2 points on the x-axis. You see the light blue line connecting them, and click one more time so you can graph it. So on your graph, you should have those 3 black lines. You have x-axis is black, y-axis is black, and also the the line we graphed. Now also in the side here, let me explain. Over here, you see line 1, line 2, line 3. You should have only those, nothing else. No points, okay? Just lines, line 1, line 2, line 3. That's all what you need. And then after that, I'm going to shade it. So I'm going to click at fill. It's going to ask you something. You're going to say, okay. And then your marker becomes, you want to go over the graph, see my marker become a little bucket. So I need to click inside that triangle. So just click once. Okay. So click once and you should graph it. You should fill it up. So here you go. When you click inside, you're going to graph it. Okay, so you're going to shade the area. It's going to look like this. So that's all what you have for the graph. That's how you graph the inequality. And then you have to get the vertices. So the vertices are the coordinates of those 3 points. So you're going to put the coordinates of this point, and this point. And they have to be in that order. Because here the first point is 0, 0. I'm going to write it here. So the first point is 0 and 0. The second one is 0, 16. And the last one is 32 and 0. Okay, so now you need to put it in this specific order. We have x have to be increasing. So first you're going to put the x's, the smallest x's, and then because both of those are the same x's, you're going to take the smaller y is going to be first. So this is my first point here. Then after that, this is going to be the second vertex, and this is going to be the third. They have to be in this order. It's kind of alphabetical order, but looking at the numbers. So that's how you put the vertices. So it's going to be 0, 0. The second one is going to be 0, 16. And the last one is 32, 0. So that's how you graph, that's how you do number 1. And also this area obviously is bounded because it's closed area. And let's check it out. Okay, everything good. Then you're going to go to number 2. And number 3, no, number 2 is only the same. Okay, so number 2, we have to set up a system of inequality, and then you have to graph it. And how you do that? You're going to read the question. It's a word problem. And we're going to set up the inequality. So here we have limited resources. That's what you're doing. The first one, you're going to look at the land requirements. So here we have a ranger have 400 acres. So I'm going to look at the acres here. Each goat needs 2 acres and llama needs 5 acres, right? So what you're using here, see, also it's important to read here. It says X represent the number of goats and Y represent the numbers of llamas. So that's what you're using. So the first inequality is going to be 2x because the goats are X, plus 5 acres for Y has to be less or equal to 400 because this is the land they have. They don't have, the rancher doesn't have more than 400 acres. So that was the first inequality, and then the second one is going to be connected with the veterinary care. So we're spending $50 for goats and $40 for llamas, and this is the total money. So we're doing the same, 50x plus 40y have to be less or equal to 6,600. So that's what you're going to put here into the answer boxes. So you're going to put 2x plus 5y is the first one. Now for less or equal, you're going to go to relations, and you're going to use the symbol less or equal, 400. And then the other inequality is going to be 50x plus 40y. Again, you're going to go to relations, less or equal 6,600. So that's what you have, and then we have to graph those two inequalities here. And how you graph them? The same way you're graphing the previous one, like number one, the same way. So you're going to graph the first one, then you're going to graph the second one, and then you're going to graph the x-axis, the y-axis, and then you're going to shade it. So let me do that real quick. So the first inequality, I need to pick 2 points. So when I pick 0 for x and 0 for y. So when x is 0, I'm solving the first one. So when I replace x with 0, it's going to be 5y equals 400. Then divide by 5. So when I divide 400, when I divide it by 5, it's going to be 80. So the y is going to be 80. Then the second inequality, the second point in the first inequality, when I replace y with 0 now, this is 0. So I'm going to get 2x equals 400. I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and that's going to be 200. So these are the points I'm going to use for the first line. Then after that, I'm going to grab the second line. Changing the color. I'm going to grab the second line. Again, I'm going to pick 0 for x. When I replace x with 0 here, I'm going to get 40y equals 6600. Then divide by 40. So that will be 165. Then after that, I'm going to pick 0 for y. So I'm going to replace this is 0. So I have to solve 50y equals 6600. Divide both sides by 50. And that's going to give me the x. I'm sorry, this is x, 50x. This should be 50x. So that will give me the x. So now when I divide 6600 divided by 50, it's going to be 132. So these are the 2 points I'm going to use to graph the second line. So let's do that. So I'm going to click on the straight line. Then after that, I'm going to click at 0, 80. So you have all this 80. And then 200 for x and 0. So that's my first line. See, when you click here, you're going to see the point 0, 80, 200, 0. Everything good. Then after that, I'm going to grab the second line. I'm going to click on here 2 times. And then I have to click at 0, 165, which is here in between. I'm going to fix it, don't worry. And then 132, somewhere here. Now, when you click at line 2, I need to fix the points. See, I didn't click exactly at 165. So I'm going to go here and correct it, 165. And this is not exactly 130, so I need to change it to 132. Okay? So we fix the point, so that's my correct second line. Then after that, I have to grab the x-axis and the y-axis. So the x-axis, I'm graphing the y first. And then I have to grab the x also. Any 2 points, doesn't matter. Okay? And we have the x-axis, the y-axis, and the 2 lines. Now, where we're going to shade? Looking at my inequalities, see both of those inequalities are less than and less than. That means I need to shade below this line and below this line. So that means I have to shade inside here. Okay, so after I shade that, I need to shade that. I need to get also, so let me shade that. I'm gonna click at fill. And then I need to click inside. So that's my shaded area. Okay, then after that, I have to get the coordinates. I have to get the coordinates for the vertices. So this is my graph, and also keep in mind you have to have line 1, 2, 3, 4 lines only, nothing else. Then you have to get the vertices. Now the vertices, you have to do it in this specific order. You have to put this point is the first point, 0, 0. This is the second point, which is 0, 60. Then you have to put, this is your third point. You have to find this, and then this is the last point. This is the fourth point. There's 4 points. So obviously the first one is 0, 0. It's easy, right? Then the second one was, we can get that from the first line, 6, no, what is that? 80, 0, 80 is the second one. And then the third one, you see the x is 100 and the other one is 40, 100, 40. I mean, look at this, they kind of intercept exactly that place. Now, if you want to find exactly where they cross, if you want to find these coordinates, you need to solve the system of equations. Okay, but in this case, it's clear where they cross. And then the last point is 132, 0. And let's check that. Okay, so looks like everything is good. So that's how you do this one. Then number 3 and number 4, they're the same, and number 5 is the same. Now see number 5, they're asking for maximum, and if it's open, then it's going to be GNE, because for open area maximum doesn't exist. So this is GNE. I don't need to solve this. And then you do the same we did like the previous week. We need to so if I need to find minimum for those two and maximum, you have to calculate. So you have to get the corner points and you have to plug it in the function. So this is how you do this. Number 3. So I'm doing number 3. Number 4 is the same way. So I need to get x, y, and calculate the points. So I need to get x, y for the vertices. And then the function p is 4x plus 2y. And you have to plug it in, and then you're going to check the numbers here, and see the biggest one is going to be the maximum. So the corner points are you can start from one of those and just go around, list them all. So you're going to start 0, 10, then 0, 20, and then I'm going to do 10, 20, then 15, 15, and then you have 15, 0, and we have one more, which is 10, 0. And then you're going to plug it in this function, 4 times x plus 2 times y. So 4 times 0 plus 2 times 10 is 20, obviously. Then 4, let me write it how I get 20. 4 times 0, you replace x with 0 and replace y with 10. 4 times 0 is 0, 2 times 10 is 20. That's how you get it. Then the next one, I'm going to multiply here 40. I'm going to get 40. Then when I multiply 4 times 10 is 40 plus 2 times 20 is 40. So when I add them, it's going to be 80. Then after that, I multiply 15 times 4 is 60. And 15 times 2 is 30. When I add those two, it's going to be 90. Then I have 15 times 4 is 60. And 10 times 4 is 40. So now looking at all these numbers I got here in the last column, 20, 40, oops, sorry, 80, 90, 60, and 40. Which one is the biggest one? The biggest one obviously is 90, so that's my maximum. So that's what you put there, 90. Okay. So that's how you do number 3. Number 4, the same way. You get the 4 corner points, plug it in. Now here we're going to calculate the same table using this, and these points for x and y, and following this function. And then you have to find the minimum, so you have to get the smallest number in that table in the last column. So I'm not doing this the same way. Then number 6 and number 7 and number 10 and number 11 and 12, they're the same way. You have to graph it, and then after that you have to calculate the maximum or the minimum. So all of those questions I told you, number 6, 7, 10, and 11, they're a combination between number 1 and number 3. So you're going to graph it in paper, and then you're going to find the maximum. So we did that like week 5, week 5, so I'm not going to do that again. Let me refresh this real quick. Number 8, it's plug it in. So how you plug it in? You get the numbers from, so this here was the unit matrix, and then you get, here you get the numbers, the coefficients 3 and 6. 3 and 6 goes here, 2 and 1 goes here, and then these two numbers goes here. And then in the bottom you get it from the function opposite of, so it's going to be -5, -7, and everything else zeros. Okay, so that's how you do that. So I'm going to plug it in. It's really easy, this one. So it's going to be 2, and this is 6, and here the unit matrix is 1, 0, 0, 1. That's the unit matrix. And then the number here is 13 and 14. And then here we're going to get the opposite from the function p. So -5 opposite, and -7, and then everything else is 0. So that's how you fill out this table, and that's all. And this is called simplex method, to plug it in this table and then calculate it with the computers. Okay, then the next one is when you get the solution using simplex method, you're going to get the maximum is this number down here. And then you have x1 and x2 are these two numbers. So we're going to have maximum of 70. X1 is 10. X2 is 15. X3 and X4 are going to be 0 because we don't have row for X2 and X3 and X4. Okay. Oops. So that's it. So then I'm going to just go ahead and explain one more time how to do the Venn diagrams. So Venn diagrams, NA means adding the numbers which are inside the set A. So this is A. So you're adding 12 plus 11, which is 23. And that's your answer, 23. Nothing else. Now here the next one, number 14 down here, U. The number of U means this is the set U. Set U is this one. So that means you have to add all the numbers. You're adding 17, and 15 and 19 and 19. All of the numbers, you're going to add them. And I'm going to use calculator, so we're going to get 17 plus 15 plus 19 plus 19, it's 70. So when I add those four numbers, I'm going to get 70. And that's what I'm going to put here, 70. Okay, so let's check that. And let me double check this also. Okay, here n, number 15, we have the n, a union b. So that means you're going to include all the numbers which are in a and b also. It's going to be this one. So we have to add 17 and 15 and 19. So these are the numbers I need to add. Because A union B means everything in A, everything in B. And I get 51. And let's double check. Oh, come on. I don't know what's going on. And that should be right. Okay, so the next one is 16. We did this in also before, so you need to start from the intersection. So you start from here. So the number inside is going to be 8. Now this number here is going to be from 26. You subtract 8. And that's the number there. This number here is going to be from the number of b, which is 10. You subtract 8. That's what you're going to put there. And now the number down here is going to be from 40. You're going to subtract these three numbers you have inside. So let's fill it up. So you have 26 minus 8 is 18. This is 2. And then when I add 18 plus 8 plus 2 is 28. So I'm going to subtract 28. And that's 12. Because when you add all the four numbers inside, you should get the number of u, which is 40. So we have 18 here, 8. And you always start from the middle. Okay, and let's check it out. Okay, then the next one is calculator. Now the permutation combination, I showed the formula. This one is another one the same way. Now I want to show you, okay, the game theory, we did that. I'm going to show you how to do the last, where you have to find the mixed strategies. And the mixed strategies is related to product, matrix products. I'm going to do 22, 23, and 24, the last three. Because the last three involved multiplying matrices. And this is how you multiply matrices. So we're going to start with, so this is how you do it. You multiply row by column. So multiply the first row by the first column. And you go row, number by number. So you multiply 2 times 2 plus 3 times 1 plus 2 times 2. When I calculate that, that's going to be the first number here. So this is how I get the first number. I multiply these 2 times these 2. then 3 times 1, and then 2 times 2. So go row by row, number by number, and you multiply by number in the column. So here when I do that is 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 3 is 11. So the number here should be 11. Okay? Then I'm going to do the next number here. The next number I'm going to go, so this is first row, second column. This is first row, second column. So I'm going to do first row and second column do the same. So I'm going to do 2 times 1 plus 3 times 1 plus 2 times 2. So I do like this, 2 times 1, 3 times 1, 2 times 2. And that gives me 4, 7, 9. Oops. Then you're going to do the next one. So the next number down here is, so this is second column, second row, first column. So multiplying second row and first column the same way. So multiplying 1 times 2 plus 1 times 1 plus 3 times 2. 6, 7, 9. I get 9 again. So let me explain how to do that. I mean, how I get that. So you have 1 times 2 plus 1 times 1 plus 3 times 2. Okay? Then you're going to go and do the last one in these multiplying matrices. So here we're multiplying, this is second row, second column. So multiplying second row and second column. So multiply 1 times 1 plus 1 times 1 plus 3 times 2. So you go like this, 1 times 1, and then 1 times 1 again, and 3 times 2. So that's going to be 8. Okay, so that's how you multiply matrices, and you're going to do that. You're going to multiply matrices in the last 3 questions. So I'm going to show you 1 or 2 of those. Actually, there are only 2 questions. So I'm going to do 1 of those, and you do them the same way, the same. So this is how you do number 23. So we're going to find the expected value for this mixed game theory. And this is what you're doing. There is a formula for that. So the expected value, it's R times G times C. You have to multiply these 3 matrices. Okay? And this is how you do it. The same way we just did 22. So first I'm going to do R times G. So I'm going to do R is 1/2 is the first number, 0 and then 1/2. And I need to multiply by G, which is 5, 3, -1, 5, -3, 4. And then you do the same way. So multiply. So you're doing R times G first. So multiplying row by column. So multiplying this row by this column. And you do, I'm going to write it down here, 1/2 times 5 plus 0 times -1 plus 1/2 times -3. Okay, so here we have, this is 0 obviously. 5 times 1/2 is 5/2. And -3 times 1/2 is -3/2. They're the same denominator, so 5 minus 3 is 2/2 is 1. So I'm going to get 1. Then after that, I'm going to multiply, so this is my first number. And then I'm going to get the second number here is going to be first row and second column. So multiply the same way. This row by the second column now. So multiply 1/2 times 3 plus 0 times 5 plus 1/2 times 4. So here this is 0, so you have 3/2 plus 4/2, which is 7/2. So the second number here, I'm going to put 7/2. Okay, 1 and 7/2. Now this matrix I need to multiply by 1/5, and I'm going to put it here. 1/5 and 4/5. So how you multiply them? The same way. So multiply row by column. So multiply this row by this column. And it's going to be, the answer is going to be only one number. So how you do that? You multiply 1 times 1/5 plus, it's always plus, 7/2 times, 7/2 times 4/5. And then you have to simplify. So here this is 1/1, right? Doesn't matter. I'm going to reduce 2 and 4. I'm going to divide by 2. So I get 1/5 plus, now 2 times, you multiply the tops and you multiply the bottoms. 7 times 2 is 14. And over 5, 1 times 5, this is 1 times 5 is 5. So 1/5 and 14/5 give me 15/5, which is 15 divided by 5 is 3. So my final answer should be 3. So that's how you do everything here. And the last one is the same way. So I get 3, and let's check it. And the last one is the same way, but it's a smaller matrix. So you have to multiply R times G times C. Okay? And I'll let you finish that by yourself. So the same way, the same idea. Okay? So that was week 7, lab 6. Make sure you finish your final exam by Sunday. Good luck. You got this. Let's everybody finish strong. Okay? You got it.